I almost died the same way that my brother died. This is a story about how I almost died from an OD. I was living up in Philadelphia with my dad, and I had just sold my car. I was so addicted I was basically incapable of holding down a job, and I really didn't have a way to get money. So I sold my car thinking I'd be able to start selling to support my habit. I sold it for $1,200 and that money was gone in like 3 days. So I was actually living in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and in the suburbs, you need a car to get around. There's no public transportation. And one of my hustles was driving my plug around so he could pick up, and he would break me off a little bit every time I drove him to pick up. And so we would typically go to Philadelphia, but in this case, we ended up going to a city called Reading. That's actually where Taylor Swift is from. And I told my dad that I was driving my nephew home, and he was like, okay, like you need to be back in an hour. And it was taking me a lot longer than an hour. My dad was calling me, telling me, bring the car home now, bring it home, like, and I'm trying to like make up an excuse for why I'm taking so long. So whatever, I ended up making it home. It took me about 3 hours, honestly. And I went into the bathroom as soon as I got home so I could get high. And so I went down to my room, which was in the basement, and I had my dad's laptop, and I was basically texting with my friend and listening to some music. So this was probably about 12 o'clock at night, and the next day my dad needed his computer, and he sent his wife down to come grab it from me. And when she found me, I was basically sitting there struggling to breathe. My dad said that my face was as blue as the sky, and when I would breathe, I was making these gurgling noises. And so they called 911, of course, and the ambulance came to come pick me up. I ended up being in a coma for 2 whole weeks. And now this is the same exact way my brother died. They diagnosed it as aspirating pneumonia. I had thrown up and I had inhaled my vomit, and it was obstructing my breathing. This picture was taken when I woke up from my coma. If my dad never needed his computer that morning, I would be dead. I got sober for like a month after that, but sure enough, I ended up relapsing. Follow me for more stories about being homeless and addicted for 5.5 years.